This 1982 Barnum Festival event is being brought to you by Bill Parmalee Cycle Company, Connecticut's oldest Honda dealership since 1959. Connecticut National Bank, the best name in banking. Carol's Sports Shop, for all of your sporting needs. The Video Box Office, your complete home video entertainment center. People's Savings Bank, that's banking the people's way. Jimmy's Army and Navy, where basics are our business. And by Dale Humphrey Golf Shop. Customize your swing with Dale Humphrey.
Good evening. This is Al Binford with Matt Kentosh, speaking to you from ground level of Kennedy Stadium in Bridgeport, scene of many a memorable event over the years. Tonight, the scene of Champions on Parade. With me, Matt Kentosh, who's a veteran of those in past years. Matt, what's Champions on Parade all about?
Well, Champions on Parade is the cream of the crop of drum corps in the senior division, which we're seeing tonight. This is senior drum corps. As we spoke before, senior drum corps is an age anywhere between 35, a minimum age of about 25 years old. It's drum corps. If anybody has seen drum corps or even a marching band, they know what this is. It's a very exciting event.
And tonight there are 6 participants in Champions on Parade. You were with one of those participants in the past, the Connecticut Hurricanes.
Right, the defending 1981 Drum Corps Associate Champions, who last year knocked off all the big boys, as they call them, and took the national champion last year down in Pennsylvania.
Okay. This is one of 3 events that Cablevision A is bringing you from the events of the Barnum Festival for 1982. But Champions on Parade is a senior drum corps event that is one of the more important ones in a season of drum corps events. For example, you say the Hurricanes were the champions. They were the champions last year in Philadelphia of the Drum Corps Associates World Champions.
Right, well, the reason why this is such a big event is because this is the first time in the season of the drum corps season that the top 6 corps in DCA will meet. And tonight is the first step, the first plateau to the DCA Championships, which is a long way, which is in September. But tonight is the first stepping stone till tonight's the championships.
And we'll be seeing those participants this evening, many of whom are past DCA World Champions. We'll be back on Cablevision A after this message.
You've got the look, I want to know better. You've got the look, that's all together. Working, playing, day or night. Jordache has the look that's right. Jordache look.
Jimmy's Army and Navy, Bridgeport, West Haven, and Danbury, where basics are our business.
Video Box Office, your new headquarters for pre-recorded videotapes and video disc rentals and sales. I've got them all here at the Video Box Office, your ticket for the greatest selection of Beta, VHS, and RCA video discs. For your home entertainment, we rent movies like Star Wars, On Golden Pond, French Lieutenant's Woman, Neighbors, Ghost Stories, Stripes, adult titles, hundreds more. We've got them all. Come on over and see our selections. Rent video discs, tapes, video cassette recorders, video disc players. Join our video preview club and get bargains galore in home entertainment. The Video Box Office, 415 Boston Post Road in Milford.
If you like your astrology, well, a little off the wall, then tune into Cablevision A on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and let Barbara Wall find out what's in the stars for you.
How do you get along with vegetarians?
Any way you'd like to. Hello there, you're on the air.
Hi, I was born September 30th, 1964. Okay, and I want to know, I just started going out with this guy, and he's a Gemini, and I was wondering if it's going to last.
Off the Wall Astrology, Thursdays at 6:30, right here on Cablevision A.
The book that's taking America by storm. The new Consumer Information Catalog is free. Write Consumer Information Center, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
Al Binford and Matt Kentosh from high atop Kennedy Stadium at Bridgeport, where we're looking at a rain-swept Kennedy Stadium. When we began events this evening, we did so in the fading light of sunlight. But since that time, there's been a brief rainstorm that passed over, but now we're looking at clear skies. And how will this rain that's passed affect the field and the instruments and the general performance, Matt?
Well, what'll happen is we know that the field is wet, so it'll be a little bit slippery out there for some of the corps doing different type of maneuvers. But the one problem to the drums are you've got a plastic head, and the rain will go on top of the drum head, and it will kind of deaden the sound. So before even they go out on that field, they are going to have about 100 towels out there trying to wipe off every drum head and every horn, because the rain will affect and dampen the sound.
I was guessing that there was a lot of wiping going on before the Hurricanes showed up for their presentation. We're going to be seeing this evening the Reading Buccaneers, the New York Sunrisers, Rhode Island Matadors, Hawthorne Caballeros, New York Skyliners, and here to begin the evening's presentation, champions on parade, the Connecticut Hurricanes.
Al, these are the defending champions, the 1981 DCA World Drum Corps Association champions, Connecticut Hurricanes. They're out of Ansonia, the Lower Naugatuck Valley, and they're headed onto the field by the man who does everything, Bill Duquette. He's the show drum major, the show coordinator. He's the director. This man puts his drum corps together, and he puts a fantastic job together.
Those comments you're hearing about the Connecticut Hurricanes, their personnel, and eventually about their presentation are from Matt Kentosh, who was himself a former Hurricane and has performed in these circumstances here in both sunlight and rain. Right, Matt?
Many a rain, I'll tell you that. One thing to point out, as you see right now, the gentleman coming down in the white uniform ahead of the crowd, that's Harvey Olderman. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is hitting 90 years old. He's been in drum corps since drum corps has begun. He had a heart attack last year. He got over that heart attack, and he's coming onto the field again this year. He just won't stop. There's no stopping the man. He's fantastic.
And he is?
He is 92 years old. He's the color guard captain. He's Harvey Olderman, yes. Harvey Olderman. Harvey is a fantastic person. The Corps themselves are going to come off with a new opener this year. They'll be playing Rustic Wedding March. They'll follow it up with Moonlight Serenade and a drum solo song into Swing, 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 When Johnny Comes Marching Home, and a salute to freedom, and the exit of Let It Be Me with the bringing back of the Magnificent Seven. If anybody who is a big Hurricane fan knows that Let It Be Me and Magnificent Seven is the crowd pleaser, and you'll see everybody on their feet, all out for the Hurricanes.
Now, each of the competing organizations this evening, Matt, are going to make a presentation for the same amount of time. What is the amount of time and what's expected of each organization?
Well, every corps has to perform a minimum of 11 minutes. Nothing over 13 minutes, or then you are penalized for being over time. Each corps will do all different intricate moves, going all around this, using the full 100 yards of the football stadium, and you'll see the many formations that they'll make. Especially the Hurricanes, they're well noted for having a fantastic marching and maneuvering show. And you can see as they're getting ready to set up, they do line up an awful large area of the field.
Having performed these various numbers over a period of time and many, many times over, they have a sense of how long their presentation takes, but the presentation begins in a formal way and also ends.
Okay, what you'll hear is, if during the show you'll hear a gun, it's a cap pistol, it's a starting gun. What you'll hear is, at the beginning of the show, you'll hear a gun to significate the first second of the show. And after 11 minutes, you'll hear another gun. At that point, all judging, except for the general effect judges, which are up in the stands, will stop judging. All execution judging stops, which we talked about before. The execution judging is gentlemen out there taking off mistakes that they pick up from the members on the field.
In front of some of the performers.
Okay, what you'll see throughout the night, you'll see gentlemen walking around in white shirts and white caps with no pads in their hands. They'll be running around all night making sure that they're not doing things right. They're going to go out there and they're going to look for those mistakes. And that is what they get paid for. They'll be out there throughout the night. You have a drumming judge, a horn judge. They're all execution judges on the field. There are a couple of analysis judges that walk around with tape recorders and microphones and pads in their hands. It's a big responsibility to be a judge. They're everywhere. They want to get everything.
And they are on the field judges who wander in and out in and about and among the performers themselves.
Over the years, I've seen the misfortunes of judges getting hit in the head with flagpoles and rifles and drums for being in the way.
Under the baton, as it were, at this moment, Mr. Pepe Nataro, the Connecticut Hurricanes. That was the gun for the end of 11 minutes. So they now have 2 more minutes in which to finish and retire.
They have to conclude their show and be off the field within that 13-minute period.
Finishing with a flourish, the Connecticut Hurricanes. While they're on the field, Matt, I had a question about the makeup of the Hurricanes. They seem to be a mixture of men and women, some boys and girls.
Right, they, up until, I believe it was 1976, they were an all-male drum corps. We'll tell you about that in a minute.
DCA World Champions, the Connecticut Hurricanes. Matt Kentosh, to pick up the thread of the male-female makeup of the Corps, I asked the question because one of the later performing groups, the Caballeros, this year is admitting females and including them in their group for the first time.
Right. Up until, like I said about the Hurricanes, up until about 1976, they were an all-male drum corps. And most of the drum corps were all male, the senior drum corps. And they admitted women into the color guard section and into all sections. And every drum corps has benefited from it. Now the Caballeros, who over the years have always been a strong power, have finally admitted women in, and now they are a much stronger drum corps because of it. I think, Al, the Hurricanes showed a very strong performance, even though coming on first in the show, they did as you can tell by the fan approval, that they did a fantastic show. Whenever they close with Magnificent 7, which was their closer number, the fans always go crazy about it.
As the Connecticut Hurricanes leave the field, Al Binford and Matt Kentosh, we'll be back after this break for Cablevision A.
New York Skyliners, the Connecticut Hurricanes, and the Colorado Sunrisers.
You got the